proud to claim the most blues markers in the state of Mississippi. Scott Radio Service Company was one of the first businesses in Mississippi to offer professional recording technology. The Jackson-based Trumpet record label used the Scott Studio at 128 North Gallatin Street for its first sessions with blues legend Sonny Boy Williamson and Elmore James, along with many other blues, gospel, and country performers. This blues marker, along with the many others here, demonstrate Jackson's rich musical heritage, which we take pride in. Many visitors come from all across the world to experience the blues right here in Jackson, Mississippi. And we are honored that we can recognize Scott Radio Service Company as the 10th blues marker in the city of Seoul today. I'd like to now bring up our Honorable Mayor Harvey Johnson Jr. for a few remarks, please.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here as we place this and unveil this 10th marker here in the city of Jackson. The blues has had a profound impact on our country, and I'm proud that we have a trail now in Mississippi and other places to recognize musicians and locations that have played a part in this genre. There are many legendary individuals and locations that have contributed to the success of the blues. And it's good that we're recognizing and honoring these individuals and these sites. Mississippi is truly the home of some of the most talented musicians, some of the most talented singers in the world. So it's only befitting that we recognize those who have led to the growth of this wonderful music. And I believe that there are more blues singers from the state of Mississippi, Mississippi Delta, than there are in all of the other southern states combined. What started right there in Mississippi Delta has become a global art form, and now is being enjoyed by people not only throughout this country but throughout the world. As mayor of the city of Jackson, I'm very pleased that we're honoring here today the Scott Radio Service Company. This company was one of the first, if not the first, business in Mississippi to offer professional recording technology. And the company's relationship with Trumpet Records earned Scott a niche in blues history. As has been said, several blues legends recorded at Scott Radio Service Company under the Trumpet label, making this truly a historic site. I'm proud of the city of Jackson's role in promoting the blues, and I'm pleased that the Blues Trail commemorates this city's contribution. The Mississippi Blues Trail is an excellent idea, and I appreciate the fact that it will preserve some of this city's and this state's most historic sites. Thank you so much.
Bring up Woody Sistrong with the Mississippi Blues Foundation for a little explanation of the program.
Thank you very much. Scott Radio Service, as you may have been aware, was on the corner, I believe, right next to us, and we had a lot of details that we had to sort out about this marker. But one of the questions that I asked a number of people was, what else do you know about Ivan Scott? Before we get started, are any members of the Scott family here today? Anyone from the Scott family? You know, I asked a lot of people in the electronics business if they knew Ivan Scott, and they knew he was a wizard with electronics repair. Those of you all who have been in Jackson for many years may have remembered that one of the first television sets in Jackson was at the Primo's restaurant that was on North State Street. I believe that Ivan Scott was the one responsible for putting the TV aerial up that allowed the first Jacksonians to see TV from New Orleans on a TV set. Many blues songs were recorded here, but you must appreciate that a lot of these songs never would have been heard ever again had it been for Scott Radio Service. Now, I will be quick to tell you that both Sonny Boy Williamson and Elmore James were veterans of the blues. And this was again 1950, 1951. Now, Sonny Boy Williamson, despite him having been on the King Biscuit Hour for, gosh, almost greater than a decade, he had never made a record before that was put into production. And so neither of them had any records out. And if it weren't for all of this coming together at this place, we may have never known about Sonny Boy Williamson. Well, Lillian McMurray sought them out. She went looking for them in the Delta and found them and brought them back and got them to record right here at Scott Radio Service. Now, there weren't not many recording studios in Mississippi at the time. There were a few radio stations. We know that right down the street here, WRBC did have the ability to make records and cut records. But again, we were talking about a different technology other than just recording the tape. Now, on this very spot in 1951, Sonny Boy Williamson was 15 years old, standing behind the glass, and who could have ever thought that that which started right on this corner would be later covered by Eric Clapton and The Who in the movie Tommy with the song Eyesight to the Blind. Now, how did I get interested in all of this? Well, Lillian McMurray was a very close friend of mine, and she meant a lot to me. And one of the things that she harped on to me while she was still alive was how important the song Dust My Broom was. This was Elmore James' signature song. Now, you must remember that a lot of other people had recorded Dust My Broom over the years, but the electrified version that started right on this site was what became known as the electrified blues, what left on the midline of Mid-America, the Illinois Central Railroad, out of Mississippi going to Chicago, but it started right here. A lot of people consider Dust My Broom as the Star-Spangled Banner of the blues, and I would certainly agree with that assessment there. Now, a controversy, and I know all of you all, hopefully we have some historians here. There's a great book that came out a few years ago called Deep Blues. Anyone have this book? Deep Blues? Some people are raising their hands. Well, there's a great story in this book that says that I'll read it as it says. It says, Elmore James was tricked into rehearsing Dust My Broom in the studio with Sonny Boy and Croc Odell, while McMurray surreptitiously ran a tape. Now, this is something that Lillian McMurray made certain and really pushed me about making certain that everyone knew that this simply wasn't so. The technology that was available at Scott Radio Service was no tape machine. Remember, the first tape machines didn't come to the United States until after the Second World War. This was a direct-to-vinyl, needle-to-disc, cutting it right into the vinyl. I'm sorry, but as good a book as this is, and I say it's a good book, he was wrong about this. No one really had this ability except for a very few sites. Ivan Scott himself was likely at the record cutter, making the cut as it goes, dusting the chip out of the way, as we would say in the record cutting business. And so it was a very complex process. I would urge you all to listen to the song Dust My Broom as it starts on cue, it ends on cue. It's great. This was no jam session. These guys, Sonny Boy and Elmore James, knew exactly what they were doing. They were under contract to Trumpet Records, Diamond Recording Company, and without a doubt, they were paid, and Mrs. McMurray made no bones about that. Let us never forget that something very special happened on this site. A young record producer in Lillian McMurray had a dream. Sonny Boy and Elmore had the music and the talent, and Ivan Scott had the electronics, the background, and the studio to put it all on record. I can't sit here and think. I think a lot about that song, and I think about the session, and I can't think that part of the rhythm that made the blues was this railroad coming right past us as we talk here. Thank you all, and have a good day.